This electric vehicle has 4 wheels, real doors, air conditioning, and a roof that keeps out the rain. It sells for around $5,000. It isn't a prototype. It isn't a homemade experiment. Millions of people already use vehicles like this every day. Meanwhile, in America, a brand new electric car at that price has almost disappeared. The strange part isn't where this car was built. The strange part is why a $5,000 electric car has become almost impossible inside the world's largest automotive market. Tonight, we're going to investigate what really happened. For years, the conversation around electric vehicles has followed the same pattern. Every new model promises more. More horsepower, more technology, more luxury, and almost always a higher price. Today, buying a new electric vehicle often means spending $40,000, $50,000, or even $60,000. After hearing those numbers for years, it's easy to believe that a $5,000 electric car simply can't exist, at least not as a real automobile. That assumption is where this investigation begins, because vehicles at roughly that price do exist, not as concept cars, not as engineering experiments, not hidden inside museums. They are registered, they are driven every day. People use them to commute, to shop, to visit family, to handle the same ordinary trips that cars have handled for generations. That immediately creates our first mystery. If a $5,000 electric car can exist, why has it almost disappeared from the American market? At first, the answer seems obvious. Maybe batteries are simply too expensive. But that explanation quickly starts to weaken. Battery prices have fallen dramatically over the past decade. Manufacturing technology has continued to improve. Electric motors are no longer rare or experimental. If technology keeps becoming more affordable, why haven't affordable electric cars followed the same path? Perhaps labor costs explain everything, or safety standards, or regulations, or consumer expectations, or maybe the answer is much bigger than any single one of those. Right now, we don't know. And that's exactly why this investigation exists. Instead of starting with conclusions, we're going to follow the evidence, because somewhere between a $5,000 electric car and a $50,000 electric car, something changed. The question is, what? Our first clue comes from a vehicle that almost looks too small to matter, the Wuling Mini EV. At first glance, it doesn't seem revolutionary. It isn't fast. It doesn't promise breathtaking performance. It doesn't advertise luxury. There isn't a massive touchscreen covering the dashboard. There isn't a long list of premium features. Instead, nearly every design decision follows a completely different question. What is the minimum a car actually needs to do? The answer is surprisingly simple. Protect people from the weather, carry a few passengers, travel across town, park almost anywhere, recharge without enormous cost, nothing more, nothing less. That philosophy changes everything. The battery becomes smaller, the motor becomes simpler, the vehicle becomes lighter, every unnecessary kilogram disappears, every unnecessary feature disappears, every unnecessary dollar disappears. Instead of trying to satisfy every possible customer, it focuses on one specific purpose. Affordable urban transportation. That may sound ordinary, but it represents an entirely different way of thinking about automobiles. Modern vehicles are often designed to do everything: long highway trips, heavy cargo, family vacations, high-speed cruising, rough weather. The Wuling asks a different question. What if most people don't need all of that every single day? That simple shift changes the economics of the vehicle. Suddenly, this is no longer a story about one inexpensive electric car. It's a story about two completely different definitions of what a car should be. If one definition can produce a vehicle costing around $5,000, why does the other struggle to get anywhere close? The answer clearly isn't hiding inside this tiny car alone. It's hiding somewhere inside the system that builds every other car around it. And that's where our investigation goes next. The next piece of evidence doesn't come from Asia, it comes from Europe. And at first glance, many people wouldn't even call it a car. The Citroën Ami is shorter than most compact cars. It weighs only a fraction of what a modern SUV weighs. Its top speed is limited. Its battery is small. Its range is modest. Everything about it seems to challenge the way we've been taught to think about automobiles. Most new cars are designed to do everything: highway driving, weekend road trips, long vacations, heavy cargo, high-speed acceleration. The Ami does almost none of those things. Instead, it asks a completely different question. What if a vehicle only needed to solve one problem? Moving around a city. Nothing more. That single design philosophy changes almost every engineering decision. A smaller battery means less weight. Less weight means a smaller motor. A smaller motor needs fewer materials. The entire vehicle becomes simpler. Every component is designed around one purpose instead of 10. Rather than chasing maximum performance, the Ami accepts clear limitations in exchange for lower cost, easier parking, and greater efficiency in crowded cities. It isn't trying to replace every car. It's trying to replace unnecessary trips made by much larger ones. That creates another important discovery. Maybe affordable transportation isn't about making today's cars cheaper. Maybe it's about building a completely different kind of vehicle. The question suddenly becomes much bigger than manufacturing. It's about expectations. If Americans expect every vehicle to travel hundreds of miles, carry an entire family across several states, cruise comfortably at highway speeds, and include dozens of premium features, can a tiny urban vehicle ever find a place in that market? The investigation is beginning to reveal something unexpected. Perhaps the definition of a car changes before its price ever does. But then another vehicle appears, one that makes the price difference even harder to explain. It isn't designed for city commuters. It isn't designed to look futuristic. It's designed to work. And somehow, it costs even less. The next piece of evidence surprises almost everyone who sees it for the first time, because it looks like a pickup truck. A very small pickup truck. The Changli mini truck isn't fast, it isn't luxurious, it isn't built for long-distance highway travel, but it has a cargo bed, it carries tools, it carries supplies. And for thousands of small businesses and farmers, that's exactly what matters. The most shocking number isn't its size, it's its price. Depending on the model and market, vehicles like this can cost only a few $1,000s. That immediately raises another uncomfortable question. How can a working vehicle exist at that price while the average new pickup in America often costs tens of thousands of dollars more? The answer clearly isn't that these two vehicles are identical. They're not. They serve different environments, different regulations, different expectations, different jobs. The Changli makes almost every possible compromise. Its speed is limited. Its range is limited. Its capabilities are limited. But those limitations are intentional. Every feature that disappears removes another layer of cost. Every unnecessary system left out makes the vehicle cheaper to build. Instead of trying to satisfy every customer, it focuses on a very specific task: moving people and equipment over short distances at the lowest possible cost. That forces the investigation in a completely different direction. Perhaps affordable vehicles don't begin by asking how much technology can be added. Perhaps they begin by asking how much can be removed. If that's true, then the real difference between a $5,000 vehicle and a $50,000 vehicle may not start with batteries. It may start with expectations. and expectations have a way of shaping everything else, from engineering to manufacturing to pricing to the kinds of vehicles companies choose to build in the first place. We've now examined three very different vehicles: a tiny electric hatchback, an ultra-compact urban mobility car, and a miniature work truck. They don't share the same purpose, they don't target the same customers, but they all point toward the same mystery. If simple vehicles can exist, what exactly makes simplicity so expensive in America? That's where the investigation turns next. By now, the investigation has uncovered three very different vehicles: a $5,000 electric hatchback, a tiny European city car, a miniature work truck costing only a few $1,000s. None of them are perfect. None of them are designed for every situation, but they all force us to ask the same question. If vehicles this affordable already exist, where does the extra $40,000 or $50,000 come from? The first suspect is the battery. For years, batteries were considered the single biggest reason electric cars were expensive. That explanation made sense a decade ago, but today, battery prices have fallen dramatically compared with the early years of the EV industry. Manufacturing has improved, production volumes have increased, engineers have learned how to build batteries more efficiently. If battery costs have moved down, why haven't entry-level electric vehicles followed the same direction? The battery is clearly part of the answer, but it isn't the whole story. The next clue appears inside the factory. Building a vehicle isn't simply about assembling parts. Every model requires its own production line, its own tooling, its own supplier network, its own quality testing. Companies invest billions of dollars before the first customer ever buys a car. Those investments have to be recovered. The easiest way to recover them isn't always by selling the cheapest vehicle. It's often by selling vehicles with higher profit margins. That changes the entire business equation. Instead of asking how to build the lowest cost car, manufacturers increasingly ask which products generate the greatest return. Then, the investigation moves beyond the factory. Modern vehicles contain far more than engines and wheels: large touchscreens, multiple cameras, advanced driver assistance systems, power-operated seats, premium audio, wireless connectivity, dozens of electronic control units, hundreds of sensors. Each feature may seem small on its own. Together, they create a vehicle that is dramatically more capable than cars built 20 years ago. But they also create something else: complexity. And complexity has a price. At this point, another pattern begins to emerge. Many of the world's least expensive vehicles don't start by asking what features customers might enjoy. They begin by asking what features customers can live without. That's a completely different design philosophy. Instead of adding more technology until the price becomes acceptable, they remove everything that isn't absolutely necessary. Smaller batteries, simpler interiors, lower power, fewer electronic systems. The result isn't a luxury vehicle at a discount. It's a vehicle built around a different definition of value. That realization changes the direction of our investigation once again. Perhaps the real difference between a $5,000 electric vehicle and a $50,000 electric vehicle isn't one revolutionary technology. Perhaps it's the accumulation of hundreds of small decisions: one feature, one sensor, one larger battery, one bigger motor, one additional screen. Each decision seems reasonable on its own. Together, they create an entirely different product. So maybe we've been asking the wrong question. Instead of asking why America can't build a $5,000 electric car, perhaps we should ask something more fundamental. When did building the simplest possible car stop becoming the industry's goal? Because if simplicity is no longer the objective, then affordability may disappear long before the first part reaches the assembly line. And that leads us to the biggest discovery yet. What if the most expensive part of a modern car isn't the battery at all? What if it's everything we've decided a modern car must be? By now, the investigation has ruled out several easy answers. It isn't just the battery. It isn't just labor costs. It isn't just manufacturing. Something much larger is shaping the kinds of vehicles companies decide to build. To understand that, we have to stop looking at the factory and start looking at the market itself. Every product begins with one question: who is this built for? For decades, American automakers offered vehicles across almost every price point. Some were basic, some were luxurious, some were designed for families, others simply provided affordable transportation. Today, that landscape looks very different. Many entry-level models have disappeared. Small sedans have quietly left the market. Compact hatchbacks have become increasingly rare. At the same time, larger crossovers, SUVs, and pickup trucks now dominate showroom floors. The shift didn't happen overnight. It happened one product decision at a time. That raises another important question. Did consumers abandon small, inexpensive cars, or did manufacturers gradually stop offering them? The answer isn't as simple as choosing one or the other. Consumer demand influences manufacturers. Manufacturers also influence consumer demand through the vehicles they choose to design, market, and produce. Over time, those two forces begin reinforcing each other. As more larger vehicles are introduced, buyers have fewer affordable alternatives. As fewer affordable alternatives remain, manufacturers see less reason to invest in that segment. The cycle repeats itself. This helps explain why our three pieces of evidence feel so unusual. The Wuling Mini EV wasn't designed to compete with premium electric vehicles. The Citroën Ami wasn't designed to replace family SUVs. The Changli mini truck wasn't created to challenge full-size American pickups. Each vehicle focuses on one clearly defined job. Each accepts obvious limitations. Each gives up versatility in exchange for affordability. That trade-off is exactly what makes them difficult to compare with the average new vehicle sold in America. They're solving different problems. Human behavior offers another clue. Imagine a retired couple who mostly drives to the grocery store, the pharmacy, and doctor's appointments. Imagine a small business owner making short deliveries inside one town. Imagine a family looking for a second vehicle used only for school runs and local errands. None of those situations necessarily require hundreds of horsepower. None require a massive battery. None require luxury interiors. For some people, a simple vehicle may be enough. The question is whether the market still builds enough products around those kinds of everyday needs. That may be the biggest discovery of this investigation. Perhaps America didn't suddenly lose the ability to engineer affordable vehicles. Perhaps the industry gradually optimized itself for something else: larger vehicles, higher profit margins, more technology, greater capability. Those changes created remarkable automobiles, but they also pushed the entry point of car ownership further upward. As complexity increased, so did price. As expectations increased, so did cost. And somewhere along the way, the idea of building the simplest possible new car became far less common. That doesn't mean a $5,000 electric car is impossible. It means building one requires an entire ecosystem that accepts a different definition of value, one where simplicity isn't viewed as a compromise, but as the product itself. And that leaves us with one final question. If affordable transportation isn't limited by engineering alone, could the next revolution in electric vehicles come not from making cars more advanced, but from making them simpler once again?